You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yeah. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind.
Get out the know. Welcome to the Plan to Prosper podcast. It is Tuesday. It is the end of the month. We have made one completely month in quarter four. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we only have 2 more months before it's 2014 and that we are doing reflecting, gearing up for 2014, looking forward to 2024. I cannot believe it's passed so fast. And it's time for us to really think about all life have for us and waiting on us for the remainder of the year and in 2024. Get that correct. And when I think about this last quarter, we've been talking about making sure you have systems set up. And when you decide to design systems for the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about that. Now it's time to talk about what are you going to do with these systems? And one of them is it's the small things that we do not take care of that kills a company or nonprofit. And we have to pay attention to those small details because they become big issues. Sometimes people start thinking about, well, let's look at the big issue. It's the small, it's the when you forget to file paperwork and say, well, I'll do it later on. It is when you forget to do that additional research for expanding a product line or put on a particular button or plug that's going to help you with your CRM to reach more clients. It's those small details that cost us so much time, resource, and money. And relationships also. So when we look at creating our systems, which I know that so many of us have already completed that and we're comfortable with that. Now let's layer this with the small details. So I'm going to encourage you to go back this week and look at each one of your system, and then write down each step, and then how does each step work with the next one, and see, is there any gaps, and start really zooming into the small details of it. Can we make this process more convenient, not easy, but convenient for our customer? It's all about your customer time when they decide they want to purchase your product or service. How long will it take for them to get to the action button to pay? So if you have to go through a lot of steps, people lose interest. We live in a world where people are looking for you to get to the point as not so much as easy, but simplicity as possible. Meaning, don't have me to go through an extra step just to click a button to pay you. And so all of that is so very important. That's where a lot of your money is being left on the table, and people are moving and not finishing your ask or call to action button. So pay attention to details, and the small things is where you're losing money at. The bigger things is where you can find your solutions to and head that off even faster, because the bigger ones is right there in your face. You see it. And so this week we're going to relook at our systems, making sure that we walk through them ourselves and click and say, okay, I went through this system, and before I got to my action button to pay, let's say $49, it took me 25 seconds. That may be too long for someone. Maybe you need to read back and say, what would 20 seconds look like? What would 10 seconds look like? And sometimes we give too much information on the first page, and a person got to read too long, and then they decide to opt out because they are thinking there's more information to read. And so what I found out is that if you give them little drops, they will keep clicking and say, well, let me find out. Let me see. And then when you get to the page to the big ask, that's where you put all your powerful stuff. What this product is going to do for you. By clicking $49, look at this opportunity. It's all about taking yourself and making you your customer, and also removing all of your isms and replace them with your customer isms. And that is a sale by itself. And say, if I was a customer, what would I want? And then if I wasn't a customer, what would make me become a customer? It's those little details that matters the most. Even thinking about your colors, you may be having, You may need a bright red or orange, something that makes someone lean in to say, oh, let me read this. So design your systems, pay attention to the small details, and then look at the larger issues as a problem that you have a solution for. So I use this exercise a lot with my clients. Write down your problem, then tell me the solution, then now describe all the steps. Now tell me why it will work and share with me why it won't work. So sometimes things won't work and we're going to make them work anyway. It's that little burden inside of you that said, I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. And you hear it, but you ignore it. And by ignoring it, it becomes issues. I want you to think about Apple, iPhone, or any of the Apple products. While we are buying this product today, they're having the next product ready for us for 3 years down the road because it's in the R&D phase. They have already started a focus group. And the focus group said, just tweak this one time. A phone is a phone is a phone. It serves one main purpose, to talk. Okay, so I have a phone with a camera. It has 3 cameras. Some of them may have 4, some have 2, some have 1. So you think about it. When the phone first started, 1 camera. Then they came up with 2, 3, and moved them. They took 1 and they started drilling down until they said, oh, we tweak this, but we need another eye in order to accomplish that. Now we can add another $200 to that phone. And then the next phone rolled out there like, well, our consumers said we need to pay more attention to this. So now they add another phone eye to it. And so think about your company. Never look at your company as a small company, a startup company. Always look at your company as a company that's growing and thriving. So if you just started, look at your company as one that's been in business and is making the $100,000 that you are thinking about, that you have said that that's what you want to make in 2024. And so you're planning your last 2 months to roll this new company out, a new product out, a new service out. So you need to start thinking now, how much, what I need to do, what it needs to look like, and how I can get it to market. And start talking about it now. Saying to people, on your Christmas list, add this product. That is what Apple's doing. Saying, hey, look, Christmas time, people said, I want the latest iPhone, iPad, Mac. They've already started talking about it. So I'm going to share this with you. I love the Curve TV. I don't have one, but I am talking to my grandson-in-law, telling him, oh, I love Curve TV. Now, he has one. And he's always been telling me about how well it looks. So I'm already preparing myself, getting everything ready for that. I'm working on it now for that day I'm going to receive it. And so that's how you have to look at your product. You have to start telling your clients, your potential clients, when 2024 come here, you must have this product or service paid for, in the cart that hits C to pay for, on the list of items that you must have in order to be productive to generate what you need. You have to plant the seed now so they can think about during the holiday the things they need to put in their cart for their company and for themselves to be successful. So if you're ready to launch your business or add a new product or service, November the 1st, which is tomorrow, we need to tweak something out, LinkedIn something, Instagram something, TikTok something, Facebook something. We need to do something to tell them it's coming. And we need to start talking about this so they can start getting in their mind, I need to have this amount of money to purchase this item because it's going to take my company to the next level. And if you do that, you will have kicked off your year 2024 in the green, meaning your income is coming in because you have done and completed your strategy. So we're kicking off November 1 with that. You're telling them, you're informing them, you're giving them all of the action steps that they need, and they have placed it on their calendar, their phone, that whenever it launch, it's in their basket. Think about how large companies entice you and use their same techniques for your clients now that you have that you want them to purchase something, your clients that you don't have that you're marketing to, and your future clients way in the future. So another example would be Amazon Prime. Now, they kept taking Amazon Prime is this day, the 10th and 11th. Amazon, they kept taking, people start doing what? Looking, placing in their shopping cart, looking, placing in their shopping cart. They told us we was on it. When it came, guess what? Our calendar beat and we was ready to go. Look at these large companies and take your company and sit it right beside it and say, what are they doing? What are they doing? And start doing it. Build you a data bank of customers, partners, team, tribes, thinkers, doers, and start sending them information from a newsletter, keeping them informed of all your social media. What is it else that you need to do to get people to stay connected to you? When you look at your strategy and your tools and systems that you worked on for the last 4 weeks, one of them should have been setting a date and a time that all you're doing is generating social media information, marketing, branding, so that you can be successful. Period. And if you look at your time, it's going to yield you more back in return. See, the Plan to Prosper podcast show is about providing you information to how to grow your company and that you have to invest some time, whether it's taking a class, educating yourself, whether it's online, attending this show, you got to get engaged because we do not know everything when we open up our company. And even after you open up your company, like myself, over 15 years, I am still learning new ways of doing business. Still learning that. We are um, moving in the direction of using tools, but we also must engage back into people, face to face meeting, building different relationship that does not require all on Zoom now. I know it's hard to go back to meeting face to face when you enjoyed it versus so many years, 2 years, 3 years with COVID, and you got comfortable with Zoom. Well, guess what? If you're gonna grow and thrive the way you want to, you're gonna have to invest in um, meeting people, scheduling time, getting to know people, so that they can help you grow your company. And so, one way, we already talked about it, is develop the social media platform as one of your systems in that. The other one is ask people to can you speak places? Sign up to go speak at different places, not just in your local place, but another city, another town. Get involved in your chamber. Sometimes these smaller chambers, like if you're in an urban city and you have other small municipalities around, they would love for you to join their chamber and and go speak about business development, something that you are doing, and become part of that because you know you're meeting different people you will not have met otherwise. So don't zoom in to one location and think you're going to make all your money there. Think also about the next state over. You know, can I go to the next state? And believe it or not, it don't cost a whole lot of money to expand your business to the next state. You just purchase you some license, get your virtual office space, great investment, and then 2 days in that state, 3 days in the state that you're in, and you could say, "Hey, I just want to just go to one additional state. It is about an hour drive away, 2 hour drives away. It is feasible because people probably won't know you, but some of your customers are there waiting on you. And then attend events, other people events where you're lifting them up and not trying to sell your product. Build you a team, a tribe, a collaborative partnership of others that you are invested in them and they're invested in you, and grow that way. Talk to people, have conversations with people, ask them, how are you doing? Today, and I'm thinking about this, was I was at Starbucks, and this particular Starbucks has a conference room, and you can rent the conference room, not rent, but you can book the conference room. It's free. And so I went in a meeting, meet a business partner, and we was talking. And one of the things that came up was we couldn't get online to to use the conference room or to see if it was going to be open. I just asked. I just went to the counter and I said to the lady, I see the conference room is open. I can't online, it won't tell me if someone has already booked it or not. Can I use it? And if someone has booked it, then we'll step out. Okay, so went in there with my client and or my partner, and we working. And so a man came in and he said the same thing. He was like, I was trying to have this conference Zoom call. Can we be at one end of the table and y'all be at the other end of the table? But there was a little nook that my client, which is one of my partners, we could have went to. So what we did, we stayed in for 35 minutes. We worked on our project. When they came in, they went to the other end of the table. We went to the nook and we shared that space. And it was great because we got to know one another. Afterwards, we thanked one another. And he was like, thank you so very much. This is a deal that I was working on, and we needed a space to have this Zoom call. And we didn't know what we was going to do. We went somewhere else, and they didn't have a location. Neither one of us was booked for the conference room, but we made it work for each other. That person was so appreciative that what is it that you do? Can I get a business card? Let me tell you what we are doing. And we're going to have lunch together based on a kind act that he said, I may have somebody for you. But how about if I would have taken the approach? No, we are in the room. We are not want to share the space with anyone. It's just the two of us in a room that will hold 12 people. How about if I would have taken that approach? Look at the opportunity that I would have missed. Always position yourself to help others and do not feel like it's an inconvenience, but an opportunity to talk about who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And that's what we did. We helped him with his client to close a deal by allowing them to be in, or his two other partners that was with him, in the same space that we was in, working on our projects together. Kind acts open up doors to opportunities. Was we looking for opportunity? No. But we was given an opportunity because of the kind act. And so I want you to start thinking about that for yourself. Get involved in your community. Get involved in what has happened in your political realm. Voting, understanding what voting is about, understanding about policies, procedures that may affect or money. Start thinking about, do I want to do business with the local government? Do I want to do business with the state or the federal? And start saying, if they're saying X amount of money is out there being untapped by women-owned business, minorities, veterans, people with disabilities. And if you fit those, you may not in 2024 complete the whole process of application to what you need, but at least download it and start implementing what you need to do to get engaged with that funding. I think it's so very important that we look for diverse portfolios or revenue streams of money in the same field that we're in, than to have 5 different companies that has nothing engaged. And so you can look at it from many ways for nonprofits and for profit business. We could be involved in government money. We could be involved in non-government money, grant money. We can be involved in developing partnership teams to go after certain projects. We can look at all of the different initiatives that have came out of Washington D.C. and try to figure out how do we engage and learn about the highway money. It may not. So when they look at the infrastructure bill, everything is not just um, brick and mortar. They need other services that they're going to need to be provided. And so we have to think outside the box to generate opportunities for ourselves. So one of the systems that you could also engage in is to write a list of all the different revenue streams that you can tap for your product or service. And where I do know that sometimes the government can be very, 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 very with the 30, 45, 60-day payment. That's why you may think, well, I can't run my company and have to wait 60 days to get paid. But if you have enough diverse portfolios with other money coming in, it may serve you to have that on in part of your portfolio plan. You may only give 2% of your time, talent, and resources and money to it, but to have that in your portfolio may yield you additional money in the private sector that pays on 30-day net or 2 weeks net. So sometimes you have to really look at what it is that that strategy look like, and then how do you divide your time to equal to 100 to have money coming in weekly, daily, so that you can sustain for the ones that have the 90-day or 60-day turnaround. I hope that I have said something to you tonight that to have you start thinking about revisiting your systems and adding pointers to them about how to grow your business. Even if you're a startup, whether you're a nonprofit or a profit entity, even if you have been around and you're a seasoned company, relook at the different levels of money. Now, you're going to have to do some work if you decided to go into the government um, entity, because it's a lot to read, but you can do that. Plus, they have great consultants out there. Do your research on them before you hire anyone. Sometimes you could do your work starting out besides paying someone on the government side, but just call it those agencies. Sometimes they have consultants on staff, and their whole job is to answer questions um, or to look at videos that they have already and then come up with, okay, I need to do this. So print the application down and start filling it out and leave what you don't know blank and call and say, oh, I need some help before you get even started. I do that a lot in government contracts. I sometimes just say, let me print the whole thing down. Let me answer all I can, and then let me call and ask questions and fill it even before I even start the process. Because I have to allocate time and my talent to it to make sure that we meet the deadlines to all everything that we do. And so I want to encourage you that when you decide to do government contracts or any contract, print everything down, read it, make your notes, I even go so far as put my name, address, telephone, all the stuff they have on there before I even start typing in there, because it gives me some time on how long it's going to take. And if I'm going to need someone to come in and um, help me prepare it or be a partner on it to execute it. The cleaning business is going to be one of it. I can only handle so much of my insurance, but if I get someone else, we can go after this big company. And so having time to talk about with that person what that needs to look like, and to make sure they have all their information in order to do that. I want to thank you for Tuesday night. It was great as always. I want to thank Mark Lee for being the man behind this podcast. He is the engineer and the producer. He keeps us on track. And I want to encourage you to send me an email, and so I can make sure that Mark get in touch with you at thesharoncampbell.com, because I want you to have the opportunity that I have to have a podcast where you share your information around the world, around 200 countries, on over 8 platforms. Information is powerful. Sometimes it's not about selling your product and services. Is it about sharing your knowledge, your ups and downs in your company, the good and the not so good, the things to avoid, the pitfalls? Sometimes that is more powerful, giving people that, than to get on to sell a product. Because they're going to find out what you're selling, your product, your service. But whenever you give your intellect, your knowledge to help people start thinking, because they can't get everything in 45 minutes. It's just nearly impossible, or in 20 minutes, or whatever time you can get to it. But what they can do is learn, and then people will say, you know what? They was right on this. Let me look at what else they offer. And that way you will get a client without really truly beating the bush to try to get that client. So I believe in giving my knowledge and my time to you in all 200 countries. And I thank Mark for providing his time and talent to you. I think they own 365 days a year on Pod TV, and you can find them on Fire, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and several other ones, Spotify, iHeart. So they have so many different platforms that you can find them on. And I think that you definitely will benefit from it. Meeting different people around the world is how you grow and thrive. And with Pod TV and Mark Lee, you can do that. Thank you so very much. We'll be back next Tuesday as we continue with Back to Basics so you can grow in 2024. Have a good night, everyone. See you next Tuesday.